I believe I'm ready. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, we are live. Hello, welcome. Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. So live readings, I've gone back to mornings because I am teaching Tuesday nights now. And very excited to be back. Courses are all starting. Hello, Gerald, welcome. It's something I love. I love to do. I love to be in the role of guide, of instructor, and so yeah. So tonight, yogic practices to awaken intuition starts, and then the read with me classes start. So it's all, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I love the connection. I love the connection with humans, and just to, the sharing of it all is really beautiful. So today we are going to be doing 3-card spreads. If you do have a relationship question, this particular spread works well with relationship questions. The idea, if you saw the thumbnail, there's a card going sideways. The card in the center is a card it's a bridge. It's a card to connect the seeker with the person on the other side, or the issue on the other side, if that's the case. And depending on the questions, I will vary and speak to different things in the spread. So I thought today I would start with a reading for the collective. I'm shuffling Amber and Aura. And I'm going to use an oracle deck as the bridge. I just feel like that is a really good thing. This morning I was on and I started the Wildwood series. I'm going to be doing several videos with the Wildwood Tarot. And after I signed off, I went for a walk in the Wildwood with Amber, my dog, and just really feel right now that connection in any way is really important. And for some people, it's not possible to go out into the Wildwood. I'm so fortunate. I have it right in my backyard. I can do a 20-minute loop. I can go for hours. And the level of connection with nature is so very, very important, for me at least. Grounding, wellness, health. And to see every single day and acknowledge the macro in the micro, and the relationship and the mirror of nature is really incredible. Yeah. So I want to explore that question of connection, the connection of relationship, the relationship with us to our environment. And so my question for the collective today is, how can we better understand that relationship now, right? It's always now, this week at this time. Where should our focus lie? I just thought of something else I want to speak to, but let's do this first. All right, so 1, 2, and I'm going to shuffle this oracle deck as the bridge. Earthly souls and spirits. I have had the large version for a long time, and I finally ordered the mini version. Very expensive, but I really like this deck, and I'm so glad that I did. Just wish this deck thing wasn't so expensive. So our bridge is going to be Earthly Souls and Spirits. And hello to everybody that's coming in. I will just finish shuffling, and I'll just say hi to all of you before I turn the camera and we do the reading. All right, so this is for the bridge to understanding our connection, our relationship with nature, among other things. Okay, so just put that down there. And then I will go and say hello, 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 hello. Kristen Louise, welcome. Burning Dreamer 13, hello, bonsoir. If you would like me to use your name, not your YouTube channel, and I'm not aware of your name or I have forgotten your name, please feel free to put that in the chat so I can use your name. Hello, Diana. And oh, I'm glad that this time is better for you. Deborah Drummond, hello, Deborah. Elena, hello. Alrighty, so let's go to here. And I will, the incense will die down as we go through this hour. Why is the camera so crooked? I have this thing with straight and crooked. Okay, so let's go over here. So if we look at this as us and our environment, and we look at this as the connection, what we need to bridge the connection. And this is really beautiful, actually. You know, this is something that I didn't talk about it this morning, but I meant to. So this refers to the King of Swords. But in this deck, the kings are called diviners. And there's this deep, deep, if we can understand that universal consciousness, our connection to the greater, is not outside us, but within us, we can navigate this so much more easily. Sometimes we think it's unreachable, right? It's out there. And I see this over here. I'm just looking at the graphic on this Seven of Swords. Actually, there's two things I want to talk about. Oh my goodness, so many things. I want to talk about a Sadhguru video I saw last night, a very short one. And I also want to talk about something that Tom Benjamin addressed that I saw in a video yesterday. Oh my goodness, this is all kind of important and related stuff. Hopefully I can weave it in today. With this Seven of Swords, you know, when I see this card, I almost wondering, is she cutting her hands as she climbs up those swords? And if this is nature, if this is our environment, I feel like we need to be really careful and mindful and take things step by step and not be in a rush to find those connections, but to really enjoy the journey. There's that aspect of, you know, we want to get to the end. We want to get to the finish line. And in this process, there is no finish line. It's really important, right? We have swords and we have swords. And the way to bring the diviner closer to us and to understand the diviner of swords is to really do that, is to take it step by step. And what is connecting our journey? Oh, that's a beautiful card. Okay, so the keyword is radiant. You know, there is a luminosity in the energy of nature. There's a luminosity in the dew on the leaves. There's a luminosity in the glistening of the dew on the cobwebs, of the light as it shines through the trees, as the moonlight, you know, illuminates the forest. The luminosity is incredibly important. And however we see that light, whether we see it as a reflection or as direct light, there's something about bringing in that luminosity. I know the key word is radiant, but for some reason, the word luminosity is coming to me. And so I want to feel like the bridge, the key to this is to is to embrace the light, however the light manifests. And maybe you are in a place where it is very dark right now. And so candlelight, firelight might be really important. But there's something about the brilliance of that light. So yeah, let's all just remember. Let's remember that the divine is within. It is not something unattainable without, to take it step by step. And then also to nourish it through light, right? Through our own radiance, through our own brilliance. Okay, so I see we have a few new people who have come in. Joseph's here, IT guy, and Angela, Tiny Trinkets and Tarot. Hello, welcome to you as well too. Excellent. So questions do not have to be about relationships with others. The questions can be fairly open. I'm going to use the central card as kind of the idea with this spread is that central card lied sideways is it's a pathway. And so let's use the energy of the pathway to try to find some answers today. Okay? Yeah, beautiful. And I have a few different decks that on the table, so we'll kind of mix it up. Gerald is looking forward to read with me too. Yes, I want to just say that for those of you that have considered taking these classes, Read With Me Too has a very specific theme. We're going to be looking at seasons and cycles, lunar energy, seasonal energy. We're going to be talking about how to work with these natural cycles and facilitate the and to enhance layers into our readings. Timing and tarot, yes, of course, will be built in. But this is it's a separate topic from Read With Me 1, and you do not have to have participated in Read With Me 1 to take Read With Me 2. It is not a continuation, it's just a name, it's just a title. All of my courses are available in the shop on my website, integrativhealingwithsadhana.com. Alrighty. Diana La, I'm going to see what you have to say here. Oh, yes. Yes, I would love to do a reading for you, Diana. So there's two things that I really want to address, very kind of different issues. Do you know who Sadhguru is? Do you ever watch him on YouTube? He's an Indian Swami, Swami Nira. I should know his other name. Actually, I'm going to write it down. So I would actually like to refer to him by his other name. Anyway, I'm just going to finish my thought before I do Diana's reading. Just let me finish this thought. Actually, I'm going to speak to these two things because I think they're really important. He was talking about the moon, astrology. He didn't mention tarot, but oracles in general. How it's important to not let them control us. You know, we are a conscious, illuminated body, and we have the power, we have the wisdom, we have the insight, we have everything that I was saying in that first reading within us to navigate our way without oracles. But sometimes we need support. We need a direction. And so it's one thing to reach for the oracles as guidance, as a teaching tool. But when you find yourself in a place where you are, it's a compulsion, or it is the be all and end all, you know, you forget that you actually have free will and that you have the divine inside you, then it's not good. It's not good. Like that dependency on it is really, it's really important that we all learn to trust our inner voice, that we all learn to trust our inner those feelings, and that we know that we do have the power of free will. And of course, the divine is always, working around us. So it was a very powerful short little video. The other thing that I watched yesterday was Tom Benjamin. And he was talking about, so the Seven of Swords is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is 7 swords, 7 layers of communication, 7 layers of thought. And so in that picture that we just looked at, the swords were laid like a ladder. And so if we think about that in terms of its bigger metaphor, rather than climbing the ladder, we think about moving from thought to thought and not being inundated with 7 thoughts at the same time, or just really, because 7 is a lot. 7 is also a very magical number. It's the number of illumination. And so he was talking about to not let the art control your reading, and I've talked about this before. Sometimes I don't use a lot of decks that kind of dive me into this corner that I can't get out of, because it's so very, very specific. I like to use decks that are more open-ended. And so this was a really beautiful discussion. And this is a very strong case for working with decks that are less illustrated, working with Tarot de Marseille or Rider-Waite-Smith decks that are not so heavily illustrated, because we need to understand that's what swords represent, right? Thought, insight. In the light, higher thought, higher intelligence and communication. On the lower side, they can represent, that attachment to the book and knowledge versus wisdom. There's different things, but yeah. Anyway, 2 very good videos that I watched yesterday. This is for Diana Law. Diana, do you have a specific question? I'm just going to go over to the YouTube chat and just see if you asked a specific question. That Oracle deck, Gerald, is earthly, oh my goodness, earthly souls and spirits. Earthly souls and spirits. It costs an arm and a leg. The little version costs, the large version is no longer available. I think it's on makeplayingcards.com. Terry Ann Foss is the creator. Okay, so I'm just looking to see if Diana had a specific question. Diana, if you do have a specific question, would you like to type it into the chat? I am at the bottom of the chat on my other window. All right. Diana Law. Otherwise, this is a general reading, more of a journey question for Diana. So the spread looks at the connection of 2 concepts, 2 aspects of one's life. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the flow. So I know there is a delay in the chat. Diana. I'm going to use the same deck for this one for Diana. Sorry, I'm going to go back to you so you can see the cards. All right. Earthly souls. So the card on the left is about you. The card on the right is about the issue, I suppose. If we're going to expand this reading beyond, in traditionally the card on the left would be the seeker and the card on the right would be the other person in the relationship. Yeah. Okay, so the bridge for Diana is blissful. I've used this deck in quite a few different deep dive experiences, and I have really found a lot of truth in this deck. So here we have a 5 of Swords that are piercing a heart, right? Normally we're going to see that in a 3 of Swords. You should also know this deck was downloaded during a spiritual retreat, during a time away. It was not a deck that was planned. There's a lot of transmission in this deck. So if you see something in this deck and you feel a message coming through, know that it probably is. The eye is in the heart. And so you can see this as, you know, what we were talking about with that 7, right? There's 7 aspects of truth piercing the heart. The eye is fully aware of what that truth is. And perhaps the eye is open. The eye wants to see the truth. The eye wants to know what that truth is. And then I want you to look down to this tattoo here. So there's something about this pin and the way that this energy is moving into the vein, into the arm. And actually, you know what? This energy, this pierce, I'm guessing this sword is piercing all the way through here. Okay, so we've got, you know, there's this painful truth that wants to be known. There's this painful truth that, so this would represent the universe, right? This would represent the expansion for Diana. This painful truth that wants to be seen, this painful truth that wants to be known. You probably can't see from where you are. Where is my little chopstick? I swear, I think Amber sometimes steals my chopstick. It just disappears. Okay, I'll use a pen. Try not to mark the cards. There is a little tear right here. I can also see a moon in the eye, which is kind of significant to me. Diana is the Son of Wands. Okay, the Son of Wands is holding a flame. The Son of Wands is holding a torch. There is a purpose. There is a path. There is some level of excitement. And the way through this is this this word in Sanskrit is often referred to as Ananda. It's a very high frequency. It's about a connection with the divine. And so what I see for Diana is that in order to understand, there's a truth that needs to be understood in order to move forward with this. There's something that you're excited about. There's something that you're moving forward with, and there's this beautiful energy. It is it feels powerful. It feels very, very strong. And in order for you to understand how to achieve all of this, there's some space that needs to be created through meditation, reflection, journaling. Like, you really need to connect with I'm not saying you need to connect. The message for you through spirit is to reach out to spirit, because ultimately in your heart, you know what that truth is. It's just too painful to look at. And to spend some time with the pain of that truth is the first part. It's the first step of the journey. You know what? I love these kinds of readings. It's like, yeah. Diana, I really encourage you to write down some phrases, and to be brave enough, right? They're always in the Suit of Swords. There's this aspect of courage that is needed to face, to digest, to integrate the lessons of the swords. Okay? Alrighty. Kind of beautiful. Kind of beautiful. All right. It has been a long time bringing day 13. Okay. I see Gerald is commenting on the Wildwood series. So this morning I did the first video live, and then I'm going to do some live and some pre-recorded. I'm going to make I had made a lot of overlays this morning, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. And it's easier to do live videos, but I understand that not everybody likes to watch live videos back, and they will all be fairly short. I'm going to take it off in small segments. Okay. So let's go to Andrew. I think Andrew was next. And I saw further down in the chat, there was a more specific question. I'm just going to mark it here. And I think I saw something with a more specific question for Andrew. Okay, so the current relationship with inner child. All right, so I feel like this deck is perfect for that question. So this is for Well-Tempered Claire. And so the card on the left is the Seeker, Andrew, Well-Tempered Claire. The card on the right is the Inner Child. And the card in the center is the Path of Connection. Oh, that was a really, I don't know if you could see my hands when that cut, but it was like just right off the top of the deck. All right, this is the extra card in the deck. It's called Awakening, obviously. This is not the Judgment card. And here is the Six of Coins. And so the messages with this deck tend to be, quite spiritual and always encouraging towards connection with spirit. This card would indicate that Andrew is ready to be okay. So I'm going to use the word witness. So when I use the word witness, I'm talking about that experience of stepping outside of your small self and to see things from more of from a wider perspective. The inner child wants to communicate. The inner child wants to share. The inner child is looking the inner child has things to share with you and is wanting to receive from you. So the card in the center would indicate a vehicle, a way to communicate. All of the cards for Andrew right near the top of the deck. Okay, so the keyword is breathe, breath. So perhaps, we can take this quite literally and follow the keyword indicating some kind of pranayama practice. Breath. So let's talk about breath. Breath is a practice that connects us to Bhakti Yoga, to the heart space. And so the way to connect to the inner child, sometimes we would assume that might be lower chakra work. But what is being indicated here is something more in the center of the body. So focusing on the area of the heart chakra, focusing on not so much a full yogic breath, down where the belly rises, but really focusing on the heart space as you breathe. It doesn't have to be a shallow breath, but it needs to be a breath that takes you right into the center, behind the sternum. The yogis teach us there, you can visualize a lake. You can also, there's a little island on the lake and things can be revealed on this lake. You can also focus on a flame, the flame that represents the soul, where the soul resides. And so this feels like an invitation for you, Andrew, to do some of that meditation going into the heart space. Beautiful. Oh, you've ordered this deck, have you? Of course you can have a reading. Burning Dreamer. Oh, look at this card I just turned over. Luminous. Actually, I haven't done a side. Maybe today, just for fun, I'll do a side-by-side of the large deck and the small deck, just to see if she's changed any of the cards. It looks like there's a few new cards in the small deck. Interesting. I don't tend to do a lot of walkthrough videos anymore. I just find there's so many of them on YouTube, and I know we all have a different spin on it, but yeah. But that would be fun because I really like this deck. Okay. Well, anybody else come in that I haven't seen? Hello, Intuitive Healing Life. Hello, welcome to you. Anybody else? Burning Dreamer. I'm engaged since 8 years, but I have been hit strong by a boomerang from the past, my first love. I'm about to quit my job to explore the path I belong, Reiki, and I also beginning to study hypnotherapy. That's beautiful. Okay, so it could very well be that there is unresolved emotion, unresolved karma between you and the person from the past. And the other thing that I find is it's so important to understand too is that sometimes these resolutions can happen like that. You know, it's just one big, it's like an exhale, and then we let it go. It just because you're feeling this way now doesn't mean that you're going to feel this way tomorrow. You need to, in your heart, trust and believe that you can move through this quickly. All right, so this is a reading for Burning Dreamer 13 in understanding this transition that do I know your name? I'm not sure if I know your name, is moving through. Yeah. And also I want to say, important message. So this is for everyone. This is that Burning Dreamer mentioned in her comment, I'm sorry if it's not her, the job switch as well as the relationship. And so sometimes these can mirror each other and we can learn about one from the other. We don't necessarily need to separate these two conversations. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay, Son of Wands is a theme today. Sevens. Okay, so I would like to talk about 7 a little bit. 7. You know, the 7s in tarot, sometimes we take them as quite a challenging card. To me, this looks really beautiful, almost like an artwork of connection with all of these cups. And it is an abundance of emotion, right? So 7 is a lot of emotion. By the time we get to the 7, there's a lot of energy. 7, 8, 9, 10, these cards, it's building whatever the energy of the suit is. So that here we have the emotion, perhaps something about the intuition, the feelings are beginning to really get a little muddled. And it can be very difficult to navigate this. Look at the cup in the center with the lotus or the light or the crystals emerging from the cup. There is something there that is percolating to the surface. And we need to find a way to focus on that. The abundance. Sometimes when there's so much emotion, we can be very scattered in the mind. And so if we can choose one memory, one experience, one emotion, and focus on that and focus on the healing of that energy, that might be exactly where we need to go. That Son of Wands feels like you're ready to take the bull by the horns and make this transition to your new job. And also it feels a bit like in regards with the relationship that you want to just get this over with. You want to deal with this. You want this confusing time. Like you've been engaged for 8 years and this guy from your past or this person from your past has come into your life and you just want to figure this out now, right? So you're not this card is going to help to reveal what the journey, the bridge, how the bridge can help you, so to speak, or what your bridge is. We have a repeating card. And I believe we had this card in conjunction earlier. I didn't notice the owl before in that card. I read a story. I believe it was in the Weaver's Oracle. How owls collect the bones of the deceased owls and they gather them in the hollows of trees. And you can often find collections of owl bones in the hollows of trees. I'm not meaning to be morbid or anything. I'm just saying there's something, I'm just recalling this story. Maybe this is some kind of a ancestral karma that you're working through with this first love that's come back into your life. It might have nothing to do with love and relationship. It might be something from a distant past. So one of the ways in the light, in the radiance, in the luminosity is to ask Spirit to bring that pattern into the light, to acknowledge it, recognize it, see it, and then let it go. I'm feeling like the person from the past is not here to break up your 8-year engagement. And I see that lotus or the crystals in the center cup of the 7 as a focal point. So for you to, have you ever done Tritak? Trataka. That might be good medicine for you. Yeah, that might be a really good medicine for you. Especially because I'm looking at the flame here. There's something about that. Is there anything, I haven't been checking, I know there's a lot of readers in the chat as well too, so please feel free to support Burning Dreamer in any way. I don't need your name, Burning Dreamer. Your name is Virginia. Oh, beautiful. Okay. You're welcome, Andrew, for your reading. Yes, Burning Dreamer. It's Tratak. Trataka. It's a meditation practice. It's a pre-meditation practice done with candlelight. And it's one of the practices that I teach in my class tonight, actually. Yeah, but you can look it up. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. Every time I turn these cards over, it's like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. I just want to sit here and do a walkthrough of the cards right now. Don't you just love art? Love the art. Oh, Andrew had a little awakening. Yeah, sometimes that can be overwhelming. Sometimes that can be overwhelming. So we need to take time to process those mini awakenings as they move through us. I'm just going to pause as we're going through here so it doesn't jump. And I'm assuming this was from the first message. You're welcome, Angela. Oh, Diana, I see. I did your reading, but I didn't see about Dave. So I did it was more of a general message. So I apologize for that. Okay, so now we're going to move to Kristen. Okay, so Kristen has a couple of questions. So Kristen, do you want this question or do you want the marriage question? Let me know. Jagi Basudev, or he's also known as Isha. Okay, I'm just reading Joseph's comment. Oh, I can still see it. I'm sorry, marriage one. Okay, all right, so we'll go to the marriage one. How long is the chat? Okay. Okay, that's an interesting question. All right. All right. Let's focus on Kristen. Several things are coming up for me. To have daily prayer, meditation, focusing on the compassion and the gratitude for your partner, sending your partner love, light, support, connection with the divine, so that his cup is full. And if he is not one to do this work for himself, you can remotely fill his cup and to nourish his spiritual cup through prayer and through your meditation. You are a reflection of him. And so by filling your cup, by filling your cup, you will be filling his cup. So this is an important aspect of this as well too. Okay, so we're going to draw 3 cards for Kristen. All right. We have a card haunting us today, stalking us. I really feel the spiritual energy of that Ace of Cups. It's like if you offer up the relationship to God and trust that the universal consciousness will take care of this and make that a twice daily practice, that things will feel better. I just feel and I see that, you know, that gesture of offering the relationship, offer the relationship to the divine. And this Son of Wands, I'm getting throat chakra. Make sure that he has an opportunity to release verbally his frustrations, his right? It's really important that he's not suppressing anything. And you hold the space for him to release that. The more that gets released, the more you offer, the more he will have the courage to release. The more you offer, the more he will have the courage to release. I think didn't I say this at the beginning? Gratitude. Gratitude is the bridge. Gratitude is the bridge. Look at the voice, like the animal here howling to the moon. Amber, did you take my chopstick? I really like my little stick. Yeah. So there's this potent medicine. I'm not looking at the chat because I just feel like there's so much available here in the ether for me to share with you. It's really important that this offering to the divine through prayer, through your meditation, be vocalized, said aloud, expressed aloud. And that also, I believe early on I was talking about the bridge of gratitude, making sure that he knows on a daily basis how grateful you are for him providing and doing all that he does. And that you actually say that aloud every single day. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for providing this space, this home. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your, yeah. And then in addition to that, you give the relationship to the divine, right? There's this feels like a lot of time with spirit on a daily basis. This is the Oracle deck. And I think I'm going to come on in a little bit later today, and I'm going to do a side-by-side of the large deck and the little deck, just because I'm feeling something is really drawing me to this deck right now. Yes, isn't it interesting? So Well-Tempered Claire's comment I would like to speak to, and that is something I've always believed in, and that is when a group gathers. So there's 19 gathered here. And there's a reason these 19 are gathered here. And whether I'm answering a question directly for you, there is an energy in every single reading, a transmission for you. Right? These same 19 people are not going to be necessarily gathered. There's a reason that we are gathered together at this time, at this moment. And we need to respect the energy of that experience. So. Alrighty. All right. I would like to, we did that one. Well-Tempered Claire also commented on what Sadhguru said. Yes, these are the videos I was talking about earlier. Okay, so where are we at? I believe I saw some other questions. Oh, good. I'm glad that resonates with you, Diana. All right, so now we're on to intuitive healing life. Okay. Intuitive healing life. Isn't that interesting? I have many, many decks here in front of me, like way too many. And I just want to keep working with this deck. So that's what I'm going to do. There's a reason. There is a reason. This beautiful piece is from Guatemala. I just love it. It has a really beautiful frequency. Okay. This is for intuitive life healing. I remember a yoga teacher, her name's Astrid, that I used to take classes with. And when she would always talk about this, you know, there's a reason, whether it was 6 or 22 or 42 people are gathered together in this room at this time. There may be something in common that we need to release. There may be a frequency that we need to receive. Whenever I hold a course or a class, there's some reason why this group has gathered. Okay. Intuitive Healing Life. I would love a reading about what I need to focus on attracting a healthy love relationship. Okay. A healthy love relationship. I just got celebrate what you have right now for a start. Son of Swords. I want to. What is around? Those are little crystals, I believe. Little crystals around the cups. Okay. Paper Moon Tarot. Paper Moon Tarot is doing videos on the compassion 7 days of compassion 2021, the tarot challenge that I put up earlier in the month. And she was talking about the Three of Cups yesterday and how I'm thinking of a book. There's quite a few books about acknowledging the moments, celebrating the little things, finding the joy and the light and the beauty in the spaces between, celebrating the fact that today it's sunny, or that, I don't know, like we can find little celebrations anytime we want. And that Three of Cups is, it's a triangulation of significant emotions, right? It's a beautiful, like the Trinity of the Three of Cups is really beautiful. And if we can, I'm almost feeling like, I don't know, there's just this coming together of little things and making those little things really important. So you're asking about a relationship. So if you can see the joy, the light, the beauty in the small things, then that is what you reflect. And if you are reflecting the joy, the light, the possibility of celebrating anything, anywhere, anytime, that's a really beautiful frequency. And who wouldn't be attracted to that? It's a very stern looking, the beautiful card jumped out. I'm just going to keep shuffling. Beautiful, very stern looking Son of Swords. Almost feel like, so the Son of Swords is paying attention. The Son of Swords is looking to you, to the seeker. And I feel like the Son of Swords is saying something like, I don't want any games. I don't want you to tell me what you think I want to hear. If you, I can't actually say that on YouTube, can I? If you want to wear your, like, say we have a coffee date and you want to wear your pajama pants, you wear your pajama pants. Like, the Son of Swords wants you to be you and to own being you and to be really comfortable with you. Well, this is fitting. I'd like to talk about that red cape. That red cape to me kind of feels like the pajama pants, right? If you want to wear your red cape, if you want to wear your witchy costume to your first coffee date, you wear your witchy costume. Confidence is the key word. It takes a lot of confidence to wear your pajama pants to your first date. A lot of confidence. Because the Son of Swords wants to see the truth, your truth. The Son of Swords wants to see your soul, not your games. The Son of Swords doesn't care if you wear your false eyelashes. So to really spend a little bit of time examining who you want to be and how you are most comfortable and the best version of yourself that you are the most comfortable with, and to celebrate yourself, to celebrate you. That's how you will bridge this path. That's kind of beautiful. Kind of beautiful. Confidence. Alrighty. That's funny. Yes, Amber likes Thoth and chopsticks. Yes. I really feel like this is an important message for all of us. I don't think this is just a message for one person. And, when we go, because today not all of us are with the level of restriction and the amount that we're staying home, we might not always be as put together. But at the same time, with this level of introspection, staying home, we have a lot of opportunity to really work on do our internal work. And there's something about that internal work. It provides a glow. It really does enhance the beauty. And ultimately will give more confidence to all of us to trust in the process and not feel like we're swimming upstream, We are in the flow. We just need to let ourselves be in the flow. Yeah. All right. I have time for one more question. If there is one more, I believe I'm at the end of the chat. I'm just going to if not, I will just sign off and go on my merry way. Thank you for your likes. Yeah, please make sure to like the video. That does really help with the I don't know how YouTube works, but it does help if you do a thumbs up. Okay, so I am going to, I just feel like I want to do one more reading for everybody. I'm feeling kind of inspired, and I am going to switch up the decks. I am going to switch up. Okay. Unless somebody else wants a reading, I'll just, nakedness. Yeah. Nakedness. Okay. I am, I have had a challenging journey with light seers, and I thought today I pulled out Chris Ann's Oracle deck, and so I'm going to do one final reading with Chris Ann's Oracle deck, Sacred Creators, and the light seers. So as we go forward on our day and the rest of this week, do you have any messages for us, Spirit, on our path? Yeah. Such a chunky deck. Oh, I do see. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep shuffling. I see we do have a question. So we'll do the final reading for Elena. Elena, do you want me to go back to the previous deck, or would you like me to use this deck? So I will let you choose, Elena. Do you want Chris Ann's decks, or do you want me to go back to previous deck that I was using? Previous decks. Your choice. I'm going to just shuffle Sacred Creators in case you want this one. The delay is so slow. All right, well, I guess I'm going to use Sacred Creators as the bridge. Okay, so that one's shuffled. I just got the thank you. So I don't know how long ago you typed the thank you, but I just saw the thank you. Whatever's good to me. Okay, we'll do this one then. So this reading is for Elena, and the question is about her connection with Tom. Elena and Tom. And this will be the final reading for today. And if anybody would like to make a donation for their reading, you can do that through Super Chat, or there's 2 links in the description box below. Thank you. Thank you for energetically supporting my channel in any way that you can. Just your presence is beautiful. Elena and Tom. Let's explore the relationship with Elena and Tom. Okay. It may very well be that Tom has some definitely a lack of peace in the mind, in the heart, in the Perhaps he's not sleeping well. A general restless mind. And so, without even pulling a bridge card, one of the ways that you can support Tom is by showing him how to slow down, how to be grounded, how to feel complete, embodied, and whole. Like there's nobody like the King of Pentacles for feeling and embodying this kind of energy. The King of Pentacles is so comfortable, and this is a very unusual couple, this feels like a temporary thing, but it feels like to bring some healing, some peace to the relationship is to recognize that Tom is internally, in his mind, it's not at rest at this time. And so what can you do to bring peace to his mind? Amber, just lie down. The doggies on the other side of YouTube do not need to hear your voice. No, they do not. This version of Sacred Creators is a matte with matte gold cardstock. It's quite old. I don't know what the current version of the deck is like. This is really beautiful. Okay, so let's find the bridge for Elena and Tom. The question is, what do you really want? What do you really want? That is a really kind of big question. I'm going to pull one of the other oracle cards too. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull the Shamanic Healing card. I told you I had a lot of decks on the table. Yeah. I'm curious, is Tom mentally agitated at this time? Very curious. This is you. This is Tom. I think Tom could benefit from some grounding, yoga nidra, right? Tom needs to understand this energy that you possess. Okay, so right, and this might have nothing to do with your relationship. Sometimes when people are not great at communication, they just go over and over and over stuff in their mind. So this is another bridge to help clarify what's going on with the relationship with Tom and Elena. Oh my goodness, sexual energy. Sometimes we just need to have sex, lots of good sex. Sometimes, okay, so this is really interesting. Okay, so I can speak to this. Sometimes this energy is so comfortable, they forget how much they love sex. And this tension, this mental anguish becomes so overwhelming, they forget the healing power of a great passionate relationship. And so I think personally that it's brilliant that this card is here. And maybe, maybe that is speaking directly to that, but we can also expand that to, a good sweaty run, or something where you just let your physical tension release. And I see this now. I see this King of Pentacles is like, okay, you need to move. You need to do something. Yeah. What did Andrew say? I missed. It is a good workhorse deck. So interesting. So interesting. What did Elena say here? Wow, that is so funny, isn't it? I think it's just very, very timely for you. Very, very timely. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been fun. This has been fun. All right. So I'm going to go have a short break and have some food. And then I'm going to come back in a little bit and I'm going to do a side-by-side of the deck that I just mentioned. And yeah, and so I just feel like I would like to do that. So for those of you that want to come back in a little bit, I will be on Sharing Earthly Souls and Spirits by Terry Ann Foss. Okay? Stay well. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see some of you very soon. Namaste.